Welcome back to the HR department. I am your host, HR. Have decided to replay the first episode of the series. Oops, we're on the wrong one. We need our Super Mario RPG logo there, not our Zelda one. This isn't a bonus one. So every Saturday right now, we're going to be playing through Super Mario RPG. That's kind of our goal. We're doing the old Super Nintendo version, not the re-released one and not the update. I believe they did an update recently as well. There's not much different between the two. There were a few things that they changed in the game. One of them is a missable box at the beginning of the game we'll get into. Now, I know that one says level 3, but I unfortunately messed up the audio on that recording, so I decided to start fresh. So we're doing a full fresh playthrough, and we're going to do a bit of grinding. We're going to get to that level 4 before we fight Croco too, just to make the fight a little easier too. But this is the intro. I will let you watch that. We're getting the beginning of the castle and things like that. So we can see that the princess has been captured. The usual Mario shtick. Alright, if you've never played this game before too, it is an RPG, obviously. It says it right in the title. It is much easier than most other RPGs, though. It's very kid-friendly. So when you get into the game, you can kind of see that you move around on like a bit of an isometric plane. It's a very classic way that some games try to give that 3D effect. So if you press up on the D-pad and down, you do move up and down relative to the screen. And if you go left and right, you can also move relative to the screen. So what they do is they add the diagonals to make it look like you're in a 3D environment like that. Now this has been done for a long time, since the 1980s and stuff like that. In this game though, you can move around like this, you can jump, and then interacting with things in the game usually has the A button involved. But this is just the tutorial, so we're not really going to need that A button to start with. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to save the princess. So let's go save the princess. Now you can fight these guys if you want, but there's really no point because you don't get experience until after the tutorial. This is a forced battle, this one here with the 2 blocking the door. But there's really no point in fighting them otherwise unless you just want to mess around with the system or how the game works, because there are the timed hits in combat like this. So, like for example, okay, that was a bad timed hit, but if I punch him once without a timed hit, I'll show you that one. He just punches. But if you do the timed hit, you do 2 attacks usually, or it just makes the attack stronger. It's hard to explain when there is a tutorial after this that can get into that if you want to listen to Toad. But for the most part, it's right when you're about to hit where the effect is going to happen. That's when you hit the A button, and then you'll do more damage. And then the same thing is if they try to auto-attack you. If you do that at the right time, you can use a defense, and then you take a little less damage. It's a little mini-game they kind of added. So here we go. We found the princess. Now we got to knock Bowser out. And if you want me to read stuff out, let me know in chat, because some people hate it. Other people like it because they might not be actually watching the screen. So Toadstool, don't let Bowser bruise you, Mario. Let's prepare yourself for the great beyond. So here we are. This is the first kind of mini tutorial boss they go with. Now, logically, you want to attack Bowser, but if you see, you can select the Kink Link behind him as well. So if you keep attacking Bowser in this fight, the game will, like Princess will say, hey, attack the Link, I think she says at the end. So the best way you can do this, if you just want to skip it, because it is the tutorial, if you jump on the Kink Link twice with the timed hit, I think that's all it takes. I think it's two jumps. And then that's the tutorial. It's just meant to show you combat and how it kind of works. So it does that really well if you've never played this game before, or if you're new to RPGs. It's a chain reaction. Hang on, Kink Link. And then he goes flying. See you later. But it's not over that easy. Fight, Mario, fight! There's another one. I don't know where you got the hammers from, honestly. You guys have to wonder that. He doesn't wear pants. I think I was just going to give her to you? Kinda, yeah. Would have been the shortest Mario game ever. So Bowser is foiled, and this kind of connects into another little CG. Oh, not CG, but little mini story mode. Oh, Mario, you had me so worried. Let's get out of here. All right, now here is the story of what happens at Bowser's Castle. So as you can see, Star Road pretty much gets damaged or destroyed by the giant sword. And later on you find out that's Smithy, and that's the big baddie in this game. So the whole point of this game is to kind of take back Bowser's Castle and then knock Smithy out. And there you go, that's the introduction. Unfortunately, it's not skippable, but, you know, this is classic SNES. And then we're booted out, and the game starts. So that's our overworld map, too. So you can kind of see we go around in a circle all the way to get back to Bowser's Castle. And if you ever need a free place to sleep, like an inn, you can actually use Mario's house. I'll show you that in a second, too. You don't really need it past the beginning of the game, but there's a save pad here, and you can get full health and everything. The ever-familiar Toad. Hey, Mario. Lots of people are going to something called the door to go in and out of their houses. Anyway, I came by to pick up Toadstool since she's a bit late. You just bounce off the wall. Now, if you ever want to sleep in the bed, you just kind of come over here, hit the A button on that mushroom, and he'll go to bed. No need to do it right now, though. I am going to save over the other save file. I know it's painful, all that, about an hour lost, but we're going to restart just because that audio was terrible. And then we start, we talk to Toad. Hey, I thought the princess was with you, Mario. So where is she? What's with the silent treatment? You're not telling me something. It's Bowser again, isn't it? I should try and do voices, but I can't. There's no way I can do his voice. Alright, let's go back to the castle. Where's the princess? Uh-oh. Halt, who goes there? A trespasser. The castle now belongs to us, the Smithy Gang. It's our first step towards taking over this world. If it weren't for your nosy characters like you, you'd practically own this world. So let's see you deal with this. You actually do fight the sword at one point, too. And that leads you into Smithy's kind of alternate dimension, in a sense. And then you fight Smithy in the end, and then everyone's happy. Bit of a spoiler, you can eventually buy fireworks, and if you buy 3 fireworks when you beat the game, you get a special ending with the fireworks go off in the end credits, and then it's like a little fireworks show. I didn't know that when I was a kid, but it's kind of fun to do as an adult. So now we come in here, we find Toad again. Come on. Sometimes you get snagged on things. You're back so soon, did you forget something? No? What happened? The bridge to Bowser's Keep is out. Just wonderful. Must inform the Chancellor of Mushroom Kingdom at once. Let's go, Mario. Now, this is where he does his tutorial thing. I'm going to save it again just so I don't have to do, in case the game crashes. Now, this is the tutorial. I'm going to skip it for now, though. But if you want to see how to use items and how to do those timed hits I was talking about, this is where he'll explain them. So, oh, the bump in your head. Reduce your HP. So he'll give you a mushroom. I'm going to say, of course I do, because just to save some time. I'll show you really quick how to use items in that, too. How would you rush backwards? I'm going to tell you. Uh-oh, there's movement. He remembers. I came to warn you. The mushroom ring is swarming with monsters. I just merely bagged the one piece. Mario, please do something. Perhaps you can help. Do you know about timed hits? Yes, we do. Now, timed hits, there's sort of a timed hits with the magic as well, or the abilities. They're a bit harder to explain, though, because each one has its own thing. Like with Mario's jump, it's right before he hits, but with Mallow's HP rain, it's just after the rain finishes. You can sometimes hit it then. And then same with Peach's healing and things. So just learning when the timed hits go off. Okay, now we got some mushrooms. So to use items, you just hit X button and that opens up your menu here. And then B in that, so X. And then you can see this stuff here. To equip, for example, you just go to your thing and equip it. You do have to physically equip in this game. It's one of the older style ones. Any items, you just figure out what it is. So these report HP, and then you drag to the character you want to use it on. Or if you're recovering your flower points, it'll go down to where it says flowers down there. And then that's it. So right now we only have 1 HP missing, so we don't really care. You can go to sleep if you really want to, but not really worth it. Now, Mushroom Way, I'd usually grind it up to at least level 3. Just to make the fight easier. Because the Hammer Bros do an ability that does a lot of damage if you aren't leveled up. And then I usually try to get to level 4 before you do the next mini-boss. And then you want to be about level 5 for the first actual boss. So we're going to grind to level 3 now. So I'm going to do a lot of fights. So if you're bored, let me know in the chat. Maybe there's something we can chat about. But otherwise, Goombas, they're pretty straightforward. They give you a little bit of XP. Sometimes you get those HP max flowers. And those can just keep you grinding. And you can see, even though I timed hit that for that defense, sometimes it still does a little bit of damage. And then if you ever want to see the XP till the next level, you go to status and you look at each character. Each character does level up on their own. It's not like a group system. You can see the EXP level down there at the bottom right. And then the next level at, that's how many points you need to gain your next level. So we need 12 points for level 2. And then we want to get to level 3 before we fight the Hammer Bros. But honestly, if you just kind of come in here and whack all the enemies, you should be about level 3 by the time you get there. Sometimes you have to run back to his house too to heal, but it really depends on how well the grinding goes. And then certain enemies have defenses against certain abilities. So, like, for example, I think we hit the Goomba first there. Goombas are just so weak you don't care. You just poke them with your regular old attack. Actually, I didn't explain that before. So the X is your items when you're fighting. Y are your special abilities. B is you can either defense or you can run away. And then A is your attack. And then depending on what you pick is what you want to do for that character. Now, against the Koopas, if you jump on them, it's their weakness. Like, I'll just do an example, because I don't really need my flower points right now. If you do this, it's going to be huge damage, because like the video game, like in regular Mario. But if you attack them, it's much less. And then there's other enemies too, like the spiky guys. You're not able to do damage with your jumps unless you have certain shoes. You have to get the jump shoes. And that's it. So most enemies have some sort of weakness. But you can literally beat the game just by auto-attacking everything if you really want to. Now let's save some flower points. You'll get mushrooms along the way too that fully heal you in certain areas. I think there's one in here eventually. I'll let you know when it comes to it. So we keep also getting mushroom items. So if your HP gets low, like right now we're around 12, you can use them because they're very easy to get. And later on, you'll pick them up as you go, or you might want to buy them. And you'll get better ones too, like these are just the basic mushrooms. So as we can see, Toad has been captured, so we have to save Toad, because Toad's pretty useless. He hasn't been useful since Super Mario 2 on the NES, honestly, where you could dig really fast. And we all know the Koopa's better in Super Mario Kart. And if you disagree, then you're just wrong. So, take that. There's a little something in return. So, this is a honey syrup. So the honey syrup is the equivalent of like an MP recover. So it recovers 10 flower points. Flower points are your MP in this game. Everyone shares the same pool of MP as well. So mid-battle, sometimes you do have to replenish it, because later on, if you're using Peach, for example, she's generally the healer. And then Bowser's usually a good auto-attacker. Geno he's a bit of a mix. He does pretty good auto-attack and spells. And then Mallow's like your white mage. Well, he's kind of like a red mage too. He does some damage. But like Bowser's specials take a ton of flower points. He's definitely not meant to do the spells that often. Mario's kind of a mix. He's kind of good for everything. take too much more damage, I'll use a mushroom. But hoping to get their max HP flower. Oh, nothing there yet. That time I got it 3 XP. Okay, so this is what a level up looks like. So it tells you your level. And then it shows you what your stats are and how they increased. So we got a little bit more defense, a little more magic defense, a little attack. And then as you pick which one you want to level up, so this one here, you notice that the attack goes up by 1, defense goes up by 1. Here you gain 3 HP, or here you can get 3 magic attack and a magic defense. So these will alternate usually whichever one gives you the best level up for what it's worth. So in this case, it would be the special that's worth it because it goes up by a couple compared to the 1 attack. And 3 HP is, it's okay, but sometimes it goes up to 5 or 6. So in this sense, we're going to take the superpower one, or the special. You can, if you want, you can pick POW the whole game, and you'll be fine. That's what I used to do when I was a kid, and you can still beat the game that way. But I think the math works out more favorable if you pick the one that gives you the biggest bonus over the span of the game. Because there's only 30 levels, so if you consider 30 points into attack in between. So that was a flower, so that gave me a flower point. Then I believe you actually get more long-term if you pick the most effective. We are going to fight these guys just because we want the XP still. Because we want to get to level 3, and then we want level 4 when we fight Croco. That's just my personal thing. You can take them on right now if you want to. It just makes the game easier. So a little bit of grinding saves you a big headache. And boop. Oh, there's Toad again. Silly Toad. Again, I'm just going to jump on him. So you'll notice, too, our damage went from 80 to 95 through that one level up. So quite a big difference there. And then depending on, there's that hidden stats in behind too. Like obviously a level 1 or 2 Goomba like this will just take infinitely more damage than the late game one if you jump on them, so. Here's a token of my appreciation, a flower tab. Now, flower tabs have to actually be used. So you have to come in here, you pick it up, and then poof. The upside is it does refresh your flower points when you do that. But it's a one-time thing. So some people, they'll keep the 1 or 2 tabs in their inventory just for moments, so they don't have to run all the way back. This is one of those mushrooms that will give us all our stats back, so I'll let this guy fight us. Missed me. Punchy punch. That's it. Not too exciting, to be honest. Actually, what am I saying? It's amazing. It's the best game ever. So, these ones here, the screen's going to flash. And actually, let's just take this guy out since we're going to get more flower points anyways. And we get a free coin. Coins are fairly easy to get in this game, but they're a bit grindy. So when it flashes like that, that's the kind of mushroom that will refill your flower points and all the health of your characters. So it's like resting at an inn sort of thing. There are hidden chests, I just don't remember where they all are. So if I ever run past them, let me know in chat or something like that. I think there's a save down this way. Oh no, there isn't. Okay. So we're just gonna grind off of these guys until we want to fight the hammer bro. Let's see, how much do we have to do? Shouldn't be too much. So I need 24 XP. So this might take a little while. So if you want to zone out for a few minutes, go ahead. If not, we're just gonna punch our way to level 3. I am gonna try and save my flower points just so I don't have to run all the way back and save, because we got a lot of mushrooms right now. Yeah, we just got another mushroom, so it's about 2 XP per fight. It should take us 12 fights. They're pretty quick. You don't have to grind this either, it's just a personal preference. Really? You missed him? Okay, at least we can one-shot them now, too. Makes it a bit easier. We got a honey syrup that time. Come back. Come back. Alright. I want your XP. Now, as an example, I'll just use 1 flower point right here. Actually, no, I don't want to do that. If you tried to jump on these guys, it wouldn't do any damage because they're protected from it. So you have to get the jump shoes first. just realized I only have 12 power points, so I want to save those for the... just to save time on the Hammer Bros. Coinage. Fight me. Oh, I walked right through him. Getting the Goombas out of the way. Well, Spikies is just Spikies, but you know. Oops, put good touch in there. Good time to hit there. I'm on attack for 18. Sorry, that was 24. That's what I wanted. Fight me. Oh, actually, if we could do this all the way through to the level up, then I don't think we will, just because they're going to slow you too much damage. But the level up does heal you. I don't think it does flower points, but it does help. Lots of mushrooms. Okay, now we need Linky to... Oh, okay. There's no one here. We need him to drop spikies for us. Attack up. We're at 11. We're still good. Wow, that was a big jump. 36. We're grinding. We're grinding. The upside is this game doesn't require a huge amount of grinding. Usually it levels you up fairly well along the way. It's very generous that way. I think the next place I usually grind is maybe the pirate ship. Just because it makes that later half of the game a bit easier. But until then, yeah, I think you can get all the way through... Because I usually just grind to 5 for the first boss, and then you can usually carry yourself through without worrying about grinding. It's a very newbie-friendly game. Should be getting close to our level up. Let's take a quick look. Alright, we need 4. So 2 more fights will do it. Then we can take on those Hammer Bros. And then we're on our way to the Mushroom Kingdom. Actually, this isn't taking nearly as long as I thought it was. So we're doing well so far. And our plan is to play through the whole game. We're just going to do this every Saturday. It's going to be like a long playthrough. Hopefully we'll get some people following. We kind of do it all the time. And then once we finish this one, we'll pick another game, kind of do that. I am doing the bonuses as well right now. So the bonus game right now is Zelda Link to the Past. You can check it out on the YouTube channel. I've been uploading everything there. So if you just want something to listen to in the background, I'm playing through that one as well. And then we do Heroes of the Storm on Sunday. I was doing Heroes of the Storm bonuses, but I find that they're a bit harder to... I don't know. People aren't as interested in that game anymore, it seems. So at this point, we got a 5 HP up. Our attack went up quite a bit too. So you can see the grind is definitely worth it. And now we know Fire Orb. So let's just check again. So this one's a 2 point. Now our magic attack only goes up by 1 if we choose this one. So we don't really care about that. And then this one goes up by 3. So again, we're going to go with the POW because it gives us that extra 2 and the 1 extra defense. And now we can go knock the Hammer Bros out pretty easily. So here we go. This is the first kind of mini boss of the game. Looking at me, my hammer, and I don't like you. I'm gonna kick your butt. Oh, now we got his hammer. His hammer is angry. We're gonna show him what we're worth. So this fight, this is the other reason I like 4, is you get the Fire Orb. Fire Orb, you just smash the Y button. If you have a turbo controller, you can kind of cheat a little bit, but we're not cheaters. We're gonna sit here and smash that button. So if you hear that, that's what's happening. So that does a good 41. You can time hit those. This is the one that does a lot of damage if you're not at the right level. So like here it only did 2 because our defense is so high now. But if we were a level lower, it would do much more. Plus we'd have less HP. That should knock him out. Yeah. Now we're at a flower, so we just kind of punch. But it saves us up. So Valor up. Sometimes he does the Vigor up as well. That just either increases attack or defense kind of thing. Yeah, we're at a flower point, so we'll just go punchy punch. That's the best when he tries to clonk it, because you can just timed hit it. Okay, if he wants to just keep playing this, we'll just keep playing this. Easy peasy. Okay, we're just going for the easy win then. Alright, take that. First mini boss complete. So we did get a flower jar from that as well. And they leave a hammer, so our first true weapon. Thanks, Mario. I was running so fast I wasn't watching where I was going. Mushroom Kingdom's just ahead. We're almost there, Mario. Hey, where did this hammer come from? Hammer Bros insignia. No one stands a chance against it. We womp them with this. And you will notice a recurring theme with the weapons, like Mario typically gets hammers. And things like that. It's gonna move on. I'll see you at Mushroom Kingdom. So, don't forget to equip your item. This game does not auto-equip. So just come in here, you go to equipment, and you can see the difference. If you click here, you can see right now our attack is 28. It goes all the way to 38. So it's definitely worth, obviously, you don't want to run around naked. So, always worth it. And now we can leave, and we can get to the Mushroom Kingdom. Now, I'll do some exploring just for the sake of it. If you've never played this game, you can kind of see what's going on. So let's go talk to some people. Who's this guy? I haven't seen Princess Tosia lately. What? Bowser's got her again? Yeah, that's true. Alright, well, he's eating his lunch. Hey, Mario, my brother's waiting for you upstairs. All I do is cook and clean. That's right. You can also jump on people's heads. Sometimes that lets you get chests. And then up here, we can talk to this guy. We can make him super happy, because we're not mean. Where is he? Yeah. You can say no, and then he gets kind of sad, but if you say sure, he gets happy. So now he's all happy. You can jump on his head. Anyways. So that's that building. These are just for story, too. This won't advance the actual game. It's just kind of look the ways you interact. She'll tell you stepped in poop. And then we got this guy here. Did you see a crocodile around here? He thinks he talks like a mobster wannabe. I'm sure he's up to no good. Wait, my wallet's gone. So, first mini side quest if you want. Find this guy's wallet. And we come in here, we can talk to these guys. Guess what? Granny isn't a friend anymore. We're getting married. Do you happen to know of a good wedding chapel? Alright, we can come down here and check these guys. Hope my grandchild turns out to be just like the princess. Mario, let's see when I get hitched in a few years, okay? Just give me a chance to go to my mother's wedding dress. So they have a ton of energy, too. Old dude. So nice to see your young ones having a good time. It's always a good thing. Now, Toad is here. If you look at the buildings, so item shops have the mushroom right here, and then the inns will have the star. So let's pop in here. We can talk to this dude. See, I like how there's little things like that. Let's start again. Go in front of the counter and talk to me. And if you jump up here, he gets mad at you. Alright, anyways, he's the person I'm gonna buy from. One of Frocious's grandchildren is running errands in town today. I haven't seen him, though. Oh, you're one of here to shop. What are you looking for? So here, you can buy your first kind of pieces of armor. So buy the shirt, buy the pants, so you don't have to come back later, because you need the pants for Mallow. And then you can buy jump shoes and antidote pins. I'm going to buy an antidote pin just because it does add a tiny bit of stat, and it prevents you from being poisoned. So if we go to our equipment, so the shirt, like we said, okay, our defense is 5, goes to 11, so worth doing. And if you notice, if you even put an accessory on, you get that little bit of a boost, so it's always better to have something on than nothing. There's not really anything that's going to poison us for a while, but just to get that extra defense in that. And then down here, this guy tells us about hidden blocks. Okay, so we're going to stand in front of him. I already know how to jump. Boing. There we go. In this world, there are things called hidden treasures. Use your awesome jumping ability to look for them. There is another hidden one if this guy walks in the right direction. Right there. Sometimes you can get it from the stairs, too. If you go like that. Oh, not quite, not quite. No, no. No, almost. I'll get it, don't worry. I like it better when you can use his head, because it just makes it easier. Okay, ooh, he's almost there. Come on. Come on, buddy. There it is. So that's how you make them appear, and then you just hit them again. And they're usually worth getting. Sometimes they're frog coins, sometimes they're flower tabs, things like that. So that's all we need from there. Let's head up to the inn. I don't think there's anything really in the inn. The inn is where you save, though. Yeah, nothing really here. That guy just sleeps. So there's always a save spot in an inn. So now we got our level 3. Alright. I don't think we need anything from the inn, so we're going to head out for now. And let's go talk to the Chancellor. Now, this is... I'm going to pause here for one moment, because this is a missable chest in the old SNES version. They fixed it in the newer one, because it's kind of a mean thing to do if you miss it. Because it's in the first half an hour of the game, like you've seen. So you can imagine playing all the way to the end of the game saying, I'm going to get all the secret chests, and then you miss this one, and then you just hate them for life. So, jump on Toad's head as soon as he starts walking, and I'll show you where it is. You have to get on his head. Oh, come on. And you have to jump above that door like this. So we're kind of in the out of bounds, and then it's right there. So it's a frog coin. But you cannot get this at any other point in the game. If you miss it, you're done. You can never get that extra bonus thing from the guys in Monstro Town. And if you notice, if you fall down, you cannot get back up there. And there's never really a time where Toad is here again to do that. So no other characters come back. So don't miss that if you play the SNES version. So our Mallow has arrived. Darn right, we're here to save the day. Heard an explosion or something at Bowser's Keep. It's loud. I almost dropped my spores. It's kind of gross if the mushroom people have spores. It makes sense, you know, fungi and everything, but... Could Bowser somehow be behind all this? Mario's a really good mime, apparently, too. Spores alive? You're telling me that Bowser has abducted the princess again? That's kind of what he does. Never mind, it'll be up to you. Enter the keep. Rescue the Princess Toadstool. We can't do it. What happened? They fought. Oh no! He's gonna catch her. He's gonna... Oh no. Speed. Pretty good mime work. He goes back. Oh no, there's something there. He has to run away. Egad. This keep is unassailable. What awful powers work here? Mario, her life is in your hands. Please save our dear princess. Ooh. I almost forgot. This may help you, but why don't you take it along? We got a map. Mario! Boom. Forgive me, but I can't stop worrying about the princess. Go to the cellar and prepare for your journey. The vault guard shall assist you. So the vault is down this way. So if we go here, these little edges, sometimes they're hard to see. That's how you get to the next map. Good old school games like that. Mario, Chancellor's filled me in. Come, let me show you around. So he's going to give a tiny tutorial to you on what everything is. Help yourself to the treasures. So here, this is a coin. The small one's worth 1, and the large ones are worth 10. So that does matter. When you're hitting these blocks, usually you'll see it's either a big coin or a small coin. This one's a 10. This one is a flower. The more you gather, the more flower points you'll have in battle. Find them. Very useful. And then this one is one of those Healy mushrooms. HP and flower points. Felcher mushrooms you find as items only restore your HP, so beware. And that's it. So that's the kind of rating of that. Now, if you go to the other side, I believe that's Toadstool's room. Up this way. And obviously she's not here. So you can bounce on her bed. Princess hasn't returned yet. Can you imagine how the Chancellor must feel? Alrighty. Come back here. So that is Croco. He is the guy who stole the wallet that we're looking for as well. And that's Mallow. Honestly, Mallow is probably my least favorite character. He's kind of a whiny brat, and he's more or less a red mage if you ever play the Final Fantasy series. He does a bit of damage, he does a bit of healing, and his attack's mediocre. So he's kind of mediocre at everything. And then you can actually tell him like you're not going to help him, but then he just starts crying again. If you really want to be mean. Nothing like a good cry. But why was I crying? There was some reason. Rob asked me to buy some things for him here. I walked into town, that croc stopped me. Oh yeah, he took a coin from me. He stole my coin. Chased him, but he's not moving too fast. Let's see how you're going to take our Bowser. Boing. We are the Mario, that's right. Mallow from Tadpole Pond. I'm a frog. Can you believe it? I can't jump. Embarrassing, huh? How about it, Mario? Will you help me catch that filthy thief? If you say I'm a little busy and stuff, you do it about 3 or 4 times, you get sad and cries. I'm not going to do it because I don't feel like being mean today, so we're going to say sure thing. The young frog Mallow, who doesn't look at all like a frog, joins Mario on his quest. Now we have 2 players. You can have up to 3 in your party fighting at a time. So let's just give him his pants, because otherwise he'll be really useless. He's also only level 2 at this point. So I'm going to grind Mario to 4 before we go into fight. See, it was that reptile. He's the one who stole my wallet. But I'll let him get away. Ooh, Toad has something to say. So, he's here somewhere. He just zoomed past me a second ago. Did you see him? Did it look something like this? Why, yes, exactly. So he took the coin. And he forgot his bazooka, unfortunately. We could have had a nice crocodile... I don't know what you'd say. Crocodile giblets? Come back here. Har har, you smugs will never catch me. A snail could outrun you morons. Later. And he zooms off. Okay, let's go get him. If you want to buy items too, that's a good time too. So now we go to Bandit's Way. There is a save point in this way. But the whole point in this area is we got to catch Croco. So that's our goal. There he is. Now I might grind a little on the way, because why not? I don't think there's anything down here. I think the save point's down this way. Yeah, there's the save point. Let's just do that really quick. That way we don't have to redo all of that again. And then we can kind of grind as we want. You don't have to grind at this point. It's not really worth... Spikies aren't really worth grinding on. Couldn't to save your life. That wasn't very good either. Alright, jump on the flower again. A little spin. Bounce off. These ones are a bit harder to do, but if you go left to right, you can usually get them pretty easily. So, oops. As I completely fail. And I just want these couple coins here. You can jump down and fight the dogs if you want, but meh, it's really up to you. I think there's a hidden chest around here somewhere. Ah, there it was. A Caracola. Now, save those. They're one of the best items in the game. We have a flower jar. I can actually add to my... But all members recover fully, so it's like an all max heal. So you don't get them very often. You can buy them eventually for 200 coins each. But if you grab them, just save them for later if you really want to use them for like the hidden, like the harder battles and stuff. Oh, you're persistent, bugger. I'm 100 miles ahead of you. I'm just going to check really quick how much XP we need for that level. So we need 30 and 18. So we're going to start grinding a little bit here. Because we got a lot of mushrooms and stuff we can use up if we need to. Just to make that next fight easier. And you'll see now with our hammer, we do tons of damage. Now, Mallow can't attack worth squat. So he's good at knocking on Goombos. So now we're doing 39 compared to the 24 we were doing before, so big upgrade. It's going to take a little bit of grinding, but we'll get there. And he's going to keep running away. Set him against the Frogog. actually can knock them out in one go. Since you just attacked, I'll try and get him so he doesn't get a chance to attack. And can Mallow finish it off? Not bad. Actually, Mallow's doing decent damage. Consider he's just booping him. Anything else to grind? Where are they all? There's a Goomba. Come here, Goomba. This is not gonna work. That's it. Attack Mallow. Take out the Spiky just because he's theoretically the stronger of the second weakest monster in the game. So we're getting okay XP from these. Three each time. He's defending that. Let's just knock him. I can't remember what that is. Maybe coins. A little lag going on there. No. What's he called? He's called K9. Great naming there. Once again, this one's great because you get to do a second turn. Oops, I wasn't paying attention. I was sipping my water. Got me. So that was worth 4 XP. Let's see what he was guarding. Oh, it was the mushroom. Oh, I should have saved that. Oh well. Next time. We're learning. We're learning. We got tons of mushrooms we can use. As long as we don't use up our spell points, we're good. That'll be stuck in your head all day. It's gonna be all my fault. I believe there's a star. Yes, this is an introduction to the superstar you can get. And the way the superstar works is the enemies around you, if you touch them with the star in the kind of open world, you can bump them off and you get the XP without having to fight them. Now, there are players, you can actually use that as a loophole, because there is a point in the game where you have a superstar and you can die, and the game restarts you right away with your XP and everything. But it's kind of a cheesy thing you can do, where you can kind of infinitely level, because you just use your star, and then you lose, and then the game restarts you at the last save point, but it keeps the XP you got, so you can just do an infinite loop if you really want to exploit that. I think it's the underwater ship that you can do that in, where there's a save point right next to one. So you just basically use your star, get all the XP, and then die, and then do it over and over again. And then you just infinitely level. So let's check out Mallow. I think we go with POW for him in this level up. Yeah, 4 HP is kind of nice, but I kind of like boosting his attack a bit more. Okay, now we don't have to fight that guy, but we can keep using this thing to get over to that other chest. And that's it. So superstars are great. They're kind of all over the place, and you can exploit them if you want, but I find you don't really need to do that unless you want to save yourself grinding time later in the game. Because the last few levels do get a little dry. Any more for Mario? Oh, Mario level's next fight, so we're bound to run into something. That's right, we won't give up. Now I think that's a healing mushroom too, right there. Now we gotta get behind him to catch him, so we're just gonna get Mario that level, and then we should be able to take on Croco, no problem. And then we'll get back to Mushroom Kingdom, and then we will call it a day for today. I think that's a good place to stop, because then at the start of the next stream we can do the first boss and get our first star piece. So that'll get Mario's level. Good stuff. Okay, not POW. I think this one's going to be the HP. Yeah, so if you see, we only get 1, we get 1, and we get 4. So we're going to go with HP that time. Alright, now we have that. That's our heal, so we have everything healed up. Now we got to get behind Croco. So we just kind of see where he's at. So right now he's facing that way. Get behind him. Much faster than your feet. This rate will take you 100 more years to catch me. Where is he? Over there. Okay, he saw us that time. If you wait too long, he'll see you. That's the thing. And he does, see how he spins around like that too? So we should be able to get him there. Just a little mini game the developers added. 50 more years. That was easier than I thought. He's gonna give us a coin back. Do we believe him? No, he's lying. He's a butthole. Now, one thing you can do if you want to save time, you can... Fire Orb will set his tail on fire. So you can be like this, and then he'll miss a turn sometimes. And it does decent damage, that's why I usually use it. And then, if you want to, you can also use the Thunderbolt and the HP Rain, depending, but we don't really need that right now. So he's dousing the tailfire. That's the thing, so he's just kind of wasting his turn. So we can do this 2 more times, so we're just going to do that. And then we can just leave the rest of the flower points for HP Rain if we need it. Or we can use the 10 or so mushrooms we have now. Attack 12, okay. So let's do this, and then we'll have Mallow heal himself. So with HP Rain, you just do it like that, and then... The timed attack is hard to say. It's right when the rain ends. It's like right there-ish. Now, weird mushroom, that heals him. Yeah. I think we're out of spell power. Yeah, so we're out of spell power, so we're just going to wall up and go straight in. And then just keep your HP up. And that's it. At this point, yeah, we're going to actually try and keep Mallow up, so Mallow will heal himself again, because he's only doing 4 damage, so he's a good target. You can actually get an item called a Pick-Me-Up, and that's your Phoenix down / revive. That one does decent damage, but we can take another one of those, so not too worried. That's why I like getting that level 4, because it makes that attack not be a 2-shot. It makes it a 3-shot, so you have more time to heal. Should be... Okay, that's the end of the fight there. Give me back my corner, I'll belt you. Gotta pay you back in spades, kid. Go on. Pick back your grubby old coin. Dios, amigos. Alright. We got it back. And that's it. That is the second mini-boss. We get a flower tab from that, too. Yeah, we did. We got Grandpa Coin back. Finish my errands now. Hey, look at this. The Croco guy left a wallet. So, surprise, surprise. We know what to do with that. So let's go back to the shop. Now, these plungers, or springboards, I guess they'd be, with the kind of like the explosion symbol, they'll boot you back to either the beginning or out of the level. So it's just a faster way, so you don't have to run all the way back. Let's save really quick. We'll get back to town, we'll do some of that, and then we will save it, and then end the stream there for today. And then next week we'll take on that first boss. Totally didn't mean to hit this guy, but let's get some free XP. Because honestly, sometimes it's faster just to attack through it than it is to try and run away. Alright, that is it. So let's get out of here. Go back to the Mushroom Kingdom. Now, you'll notice something's different here. The bad guys are out. But I'm going to save that for next time. I'm just going to get this thing here, so leave the correct amount of money. Now, we are going to buy 2 pick-me-ups and enable juice just because, and then I'm going to go and save the game. So we're going to start wrapping up here, and then I'll explain what's happening here next stream. So you have to wait until next week when we continue on. So we're going to save it in Mushroom Kingdom. We are going to grind up to 5 as well. So that'll be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. You can see all of these. They'll be uploaded to YouTube as well. They will eventually expire on Twitch, which is fine. They'll be on YouTube for you. If you have any questions, let me know. If you have game suggestions, leave some comments. Interact a bit more. Bump us up that algorithm so we can get noticed, get some more subscribers, and we can get more chats going on. It'd be great if we were playing this and then everyone was chatting away and having a good time. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next week. This has been Char. Have a great weekend.